to win Finals MVP. The 43 points marks the second most points that Curry has ever scored in a Finals game, topped only by a 47-point performance back in the 2019 Finals. And as it shifts to the West Coast, it's now the best of 3 series, with both teams dreaming of coming out on top. And for more, we welcome in our guys, the Wizard of Odds, Kenny White, and our NBA analyst, Tim Doyle. Tim, Kenny, it is so good to see you. So a much-needed win for the Warriors last night to even up the series. Tim, what adjustments are you expecting both teams to make following last night's game?
Yeah, I'll start with the Celtics. Only 19 points in the fourth quarter, Poppy. And you know what they decided to do? Shoot too many threes. Like, when it was a 3-point game, they went 3 straight possessions down the floor where they shot threes. I was just thinking to myself, threes aren't going in. Maybe we should shoot a 2. Maybe get Jayson Tatum on a post-up. Like, I know that there has been multiple games throughout the playoffs where they have had games, the Celtics, where they've made more threes than 2s. But it's kind of simple math. When the old 3 ball isn't falling like it wasn't in the fourth quarter, got to mix it up a little bit. And I thought they became a little bit too reliant on the 3. On the flip side, for the Warriors, can Draymond Green give you anything scoring the basketball? It's almost like they're playing 4-on-5, where he is just strictly a facilitator. I mean, I think he had 72 handoffs, but that's not a stat, right? He has to figure out a way how he can be effective on the offensive end. Took 7 shots, only made 1, only had 2 points. And you want to talk about someone who is known for their swag? He is right now, guys, swagless. I mean, he is like playing with no confidence on the offensive end. This was a guy, now I know it seems like a long time ago, that almost won Game 7 by himself, banging down 7 threes and having 30-plus points against the Cavaliers. That was when LeBron had the big block in the game, but doesn't even seem like the same person right now. So he's got to find his groove. Stella found her groove, right, back in the day. I think Draymond needs to drink what Stella was drinking back then. So Celtics mix in a little too, especially when you're struggling from deep. And can the Warriors get any production from Draymond?
I like a Stella or 2 every once in a while, but more on that at sometime else. But I got to admit, back to your point about being swagless, I'm a little bit swagless when it comes to figuring out what really to look at with this series. It's such a difficult bet, or at least it seems. Both teams have won on the road. They've alternated wins all series. Kenny, where do you find an edge here?
Yeah, I tell you, when the series first started, I said experience factor obviously goes to Golden State. And where is that experience? And what we've seen is the grit and determination from an older, experienced Warriors team over a Celtics team who's very cocky and had a lot of swagger and thought they were the better team and kind of felt like we just have to walk out and play our game and we're going to win. But Tim's right. If threes are not going, you've got to get to the rim. You're at home. You're going to draw fouls. You got the crowd behind you. You've got to get to the line. You've got to get into the paint. And that's the way the game has to be played. And the Celtics seem to play that way after a loss. And it seems the Golden State Warriors step up and they play with that grit and determination themselves after a loss. So, hey, this series started when the visitor won the first game of the series. This was a series, and it looks like, to me, I thought it was going to go 6. There's no way. It's going 7 here, but the Celtics have to step up. And they've got to play this game in Game 5. And if they win Game 5, maybe it could go 6, but I don't know. I don't think home court means anything in this series right now. The home fouls have been pretty much even. There's actually been more fouls called against the home team in this series than the visitor, and that's because there's been more called against Golden State. I'm going to go with the Celtics here, plus 3.5.
Yeah, I think that, all over the board for the games, right? Alternating wins. There's been some overs. There's been some unders. But one thing has been consistent. Steph Curry. Just keep betting Steph Curry. Steph Curry, whatever it is. Yes, over points, over threes. I mean, he is putting on an amazing performance. And my dad told me this when I was just a boy, a ball, and a dream. See, it all started here, guys. Right here. This guy right here. And when something is working, Russ and Poppy, you don't get away from it. Just keep betting Steph Curry over. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into the game, but Steph has just been oh so consistent. Poppy, tell me this, all right, because you're hip and you always got a high fashion. What kind of haircut was I getting here back in the day? Just leave it long over the ears?
I'm honestly not sure, Tim. But you know what? I was just laughing to myself because this is a prop that I am yet to see. I feel like every time I've been on the show, it's something different. I was maybe expecting the sunglasses, the hammers in the background, but this is a picture that I haven't seen, and I'm not sure about the haircut.
You've left Poppy speechless, by the way.
It looks like somebody has taken a bit of a hit at the photo as well. It's got a big hole in the middle.
I believe
Yeah,
there was a
I got
Floby
kids,
involved.
Poppy. Kids ruin everything. Yeah, you can't put I gotta like hide this in a vault for crying out loud.
I am a bit upset that Chicago Joe's not on with you to give us his picks today, Tim. We want to hear his, not necessarily always your Chicago Joe, the shining star. Well, Kenny just gave us his pick, the Celtics. What's your play on the spread, though, Tim, heading into this next game?
You're coming back with the Celtics, Kenny? I'm going to take the Celtics as well, plus the points. Eyeball test. I just think they're better, and lack of focus, attention to detail, whatever the excuse is going to be. Check out really how the Warriors have won game 2 and game 4. Game 2, they played football, right? Draymond Green should have been ejected in the first half. They held, they grabbed, they did whatever they had to do to win that game. I get it. The officials should have tossed Draymond. They didn't. So that's how they win game 2. That's just fact. Okay, they bullied the Celtics in game number 2. And then game number 4, you needed a superhuman effort out of Steph Curry. So what's going to happen in game number 5? I don't think the bullying is going to happen anymore. So I don't think they're going to get away with, him being so physical. He actually fouled out in game number 3 after playing football in game number 2. But I think the Celtics are just going to mix it up offensively a little bit better. And, the reality is easier said than done. You got to stop Steph, right? You got to limit him. Like, can you limit him to 30 points? Because superhuman effort out of him. And actually, I watched him in the fourth quarter. He does wear down because there's so much pressure on Steph Curry to perform at a high level for 48 minutes that Steve Kerr had to go to him a little bit earlier in the fourth quarter, and he did look tired. Rightfully so. He's doing a lot. And by the way, he kind of sort of got injured in game number 3. But I think the Celtics are just more balanced. I think they have more scoring threats. I think they just got away from attacking, and they settled a lot for 3. So you're going to give me 3.5 points? I'll take all of them.
I got to say, without a rooting interest, it's pretty awesome to see Steph going God mode at times in that game. It's pretty amazing. Guys, the early total for game 5, 212.5. That'll probably move one way or another before Monday night. But which way do you go with this after a few days out here? Kenny, I know you love you some unders.
Yeah, and this series, and again, when you play a 7-game series, offensively, you're showing the opponent almost everything you have the first couple of games. So both defenses have seen everything they can see, I think, after 4 games now. We've seen the shooting percentages. The first game, effective field goal percentage, 59%. Game 2, 51. Game 3 went back up to 56%. Barely went over the total in this past game, again, 51%. The pace continues to get a little bit slower as well. These games have so much more meaning. We've got a 3-game series now. That's what we're down to. And Tim said it. Boston has to find a way how to slow down Steph Curry. They have to get more physical. That's what they have to do. I don't know if they can do it on the road. I don't know if they can do it at home. They sure weren't physical with him yesterday. I know with an injured foot, you're not trying to hurt somebody, but there's a way to play physical defense, and the Celtics just aren't doing it. And they're a great defensive team. And if they play that defense, this is an easy under. The last 3 games, the median final score, 204. So I'm going to go under the 212.5.
When I spent time with Kenny White, we went out to Santa Anita Racetrack, and he brought like a childlike bag of just pencils, right? Just red pencils and pens, and just there was so many different ornaments that he brought. And I'm going to give him this advice. See this pen right here, Kenny? You got to get this in your rotation, okay? It's got the green, the red, the black. It will eliminate you bringing kind of your pencil holder around. It was a tad embarrassing, but I was like, it's the Wizard of Oz. He kind of does what he does. And when the Wizard of Oz dives into totals, I follow him. This is like Reggie Jackson in Naked Gun, okay? He was supposed to kill the queen. I must follow the Wizard of Oz. I am just robot mode right here. His totals are the best in the business. And when he has something going under, heck, he texted me, Russ and Poppy, and he said, bet the under in the NBA All-Star game. Not sure if you ever watched that. They don't play any defense. It was 2.5 hours of gut-wrenching, of sitting there going, why did I bet the under? Ended up winning, though. Why? Because Kenny knows his totals. I'm going to go under as well.
All right, so you're both in agreement there. That is an elite pen as well, by the way, Tim. Very underrated. Let's talk about the big picture, though. The Warriors favourites to win it all at -140. Kenny, you've backed the Celtics the entire time. Are you sticking with them here, despite them being the slight underdogs to lift the trophy?
I am sticking with them, Poppy. I think that there's been a little overconfidence, and that grit and determination by the experienced Warriors have kept them in the series. And Steph Curry, it's been a one-man show. Without Curry, obviously this game, this finals is over. I thought it should have been over. I think the Celtics are a far better team, and I have to stick with them here. Take the 3.5. I just hope they've gained a lot of experience and knowledge from the first 4, and they know they better come to play every single possession of every game from here on out if they want to be the champs. And I think they will. I just think they're a little bit deeper. And you know what? Tim's right. Draymond Green, it's 5 against 4. Come on, Boston. You should be able to win 5 against 4.
Yeah, I mean, I picked Russ and Poppy, the Celtics, in 6. And I'm not ready to jump ship right now. Like, I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio at the end of Titanic. Like, it's so cold. By the way, there was room on the raft. I've been trying to prove. Rose was selfish, and she could have easily pulled him up there at the end of Titanic. Instead, the guy's out there freezing to death. I'm cold right now. I'm cold with the Celtics, but I'm holding on for dear life, okay? I believe that Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, this is a team that flipped the switch. They were 80-1 in November to win the title, 60-1 in February to win the title, and then last night they were almost minus 300 to win the series. So I know it's one game and it was a superhuman effort from Steph, but you really have to take a step back and be like, how are the Warriors going to win this series? Because the games they have won so far, I'm not saying there's an asterisk, but there have been some amazing storylines. The physicality in Game 2 and the unbelievable performance in Game 4. Can they do that for 2 more games? I have my doubts. Russ, what do you think? Do you think Rose was selfish? She was just looking out for herself at the end of Titanic? She could have just pulled them up on the raft.
You're not wrong. I sense no lies at all, Tim. Rose, super selfish.
Super selfish.
I'm with you.
I agree. Well, I know one thing that's for sure. Kenny and Tim, you are comfortably on the raft together. Let's take another look at their picks because they're in agreement here, both laying the points with the Celtics in Game 5, both going under the total of 212.5 and both taking the Celtics to win it all, with Tim having them do it in 6 at plus 310.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.